What if I told you that the exercise millions of older adults rely on to improve leg circulation may not be enough? Every day I meet people who faithfully walk for 30 or 40 minutes, wear compression socks, elevate their legs every evening, yet they still struggle with cold feet, swollen ankles, burning pain, nighttime leg cramps, and an increasing fear of falling. The frightening part is that poor circulation isn't just about discomfort. After the age of 60, it can quietly lead to slow healing wounds, skin ulcers, infections, and in severe cases, even amputation. It may also be one of the earliest warning signs that your arteries are becoming diseased. In fact, by the age of 70, nearly 1 in 5 adults has measurable peripheral artery disease, and many don't even realize it. Here's what most people misunderstand. Poor circulation isn't simply a problem of blood getting down to your feet. It's often a problem of blood getting back up to your heart. As we grow older, our arteries become less flexible, our veins weaken, and the muscles responsible for pumping blood upward gradually loses strength. That's why many vascular surgeons don't focus only on how far you can walk. They focus on which muscles you're activating while you move. And once you understand, the muscle doctor often call your body's second heart, improving circulation becomes much simpler than most people imagine. I'm Dr. Sebastian Sterling, and after caring for older adults for more than 30 years, I've seen how restoring healthy circulation can mean the difference between remaining active at 80 or struggling with balance, swelling, and loss of independence years earlier. Today, I'll show you 5 surgeon-recommended movements that help activate your body's natural muscle pump, improve blood flow, reduce swelling, and support better balance. And stay with me until number 1. It's the exercise used in rehabilitation programs around the world because it combines circulation, strength, and fall prevention into one simple movement that almost anyone can do safely at home. Before we begin, I'd like to ask you one question. Do you ever experience cold feet, swollen ankles, or leg pain by the end of the day? Tell me in the comments below. Now let's begin with movement number 5. Movement number 5. Calf activation, the second heart that most people never train. Let's begin with movement number 5. At first glance, it looks almost too simple to make a difference. In fact, many people dismiss it because it doesn't feel like real exercise. But in vascular and orthopedic rehabilitation, this is often one of the very first movements patients are taught after leg surgery to help restore circulation and reduce the risk of blood pooling. Here's why. Hidden inside your lower legs is something doctors call the calf muscle pump, often referred to as the body's second heart. Of course, it's not actually another heart, but every time your calf muscles contract, they compress the deep veins in your legs, helping push blood upward against gravity and back toward your heart. Without that pumping action, blood begins to collect in the lower legs. Your ankles swell, your feet become cold, oxygen delivery to the tissues decreases, and over time, healing becomes slower. This problem becomes much more common after the age of 60, especially if you spend several hours a day sitting. Research in vascular rehabilitation has shown that simple ankle pumping exercises can significantly improve venous return, reduce lower leg swelling, and promote healthier circulation, even in older adults who cannot stand or walk for long periods. Notice something important. The benefit doesn't come from exercising harder. It comes from activating the calf pump repeatedly and consistently. Here's how to do it correctly. Sit comfortably in a sturdy chair with both feet flat on the floor. First, lift your toes toward your shins while keeping your heels on the ground. Then, slowly press your toes into the floor and raise your heels, almost as if you're gently pressing the accelerator in a car. That's 1 repetition. Move slowly. Don't rush. The muscle contraction, not speed, is what creates the pumping effect. Aim for 20 to 30 repetitions 2 to 3 times each day. The best part is that you can do this while watching television, reading, talking on the phone, or even sitting at the dinner table. Now here's something that surprised many of my patients. Walking certainly helps circulation, but after 60, walking often relies more on forward momentum than on strong, deliberate calf contractions. Ankle pumps do exactly the opposite. They isolate the muscle responsible for moving stagnant blood out of your lower legs. That's why many people notice warmer feet, less ankle swelling, and reduce leg heaviness after making this exercise part of their daily routine. But this movement is only the beginning. It reactivates your circulation. The next exercise strengthens the larger muscles that help move blood through your thighs and back toward your heart, and that's where many older adults begin noticing real improvements in both circulation and walking ability. Movement number 4, seated leg lifts, the exercise that improves circulation and walking speed. Now we come to movement number 4, and if you think sitting down means this exercise can't possibly improve your circulation, you're about to be surprised. A 2024 study published in the Archives of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation found that adults over the age of 60 who performed seated leg lifts with light resistance improved their walking speed 28% and their stair climbing ability by 45% after just 8 weeks. Those numbers are more important than they might seem, because walking speed isn't simply a measure of fitness. Many geriatric specialists now call it the 6th vital sign, since slower walking speed has been consistently associated with a higher risk of falls, hospitalization, disability, and loss of independence. So why does this simple exercise work so well? Unlike walking, which mainly relies on forward momentum, seated leg lifts deliberately activate your quadriceps, hip flexors, and core muscles at the same time. Every controlled contraction squeezes the large veins in your thighs, helping push blood back toward your heart while strengthening the muscles you depend on. Every time you stand up, climb stairs, or get out of a chair, for many older adults, those muscles become weaker year after year, not because of age alone, but because they're rarely challenged enough during everyday walking. Here's show to perform the movement correctly. Sit in a sturdy chair with your back firmly against the backrest and both feet flat on the floor. Slowly, straighten one leg until it's comfortably extended in front of you. Hold that position for 2 seconds. Then lower your legs slowly and with control. Don't let your foot simply drop. Complete 10 to 15 repetitions, then switch to the other leg. Now, here's the detail that most people miss. Posture matters. Keeping your back against the chair prevents you from using momentum. It forces the muscles in your thighs and hips to do the work. And that's exactly where the circulation benefit comes from. As this exercise becomes easier, you can gradually add 1 to 2 ankle weights or a light resistance band. Research has repeatedly shown that older muscles still respond remarkably well to progressive resistance training, even in people well into their 70s and 80s. This one movement doesn't just improve circulation. It builds stronger thighs, makes standing easier, improves walking endurance, and prepares your legs for the balance exercises that come next. Because strong muscles alone aren't enough. If your balance system isn't working properly, your circulation and your independence can still suffer. So, let's move on to movement number 3. One of the simplest exercises vascular surgeons and rehabilitation specialists use to improve both calf strength and balance at the same time. Movement number 3. Supported calf raises, the strength test that predicts your independence. Now we arrive at movement number 3, And this is where circulation training begins to overlap with something even more important, your independence. Here's something that surprised even many rehabilitation specialists. Research supported by the National Institute on Aging has shown that calf muscle strength is one of the strongest predictors of whether an older adult can continue living independently. In other words, the strength of your calves may tell doctors more about your future mobility than you might imagine. Why? Because your calf muscles do much more than help you walk. Every time they contract, they compress the deep veins in your lower legs, pushing blood upward against gravity. When those muscles become weak, blood begins to pull, swelling increases, less oxygen reaches your tissues, and your balance reactions become slower. That's one reason falls become much more common after the age of 65. This is exactly why vascular surgeons and physical therapists place so much emphasis on this next movement. It doesn't just strengthen your legs, it retrains your circulation and your balance system at the same time. Here's show to do it correctly. Stand behind a sturdy chair or kitchen countertop and rest your hands lightly for support. Slowly rise onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels as high as you comfortably can. Now comes the most important part. Hold the top position for 2 to 3 seconds. Keep your eyes looking straight ahead, not down at your feet. Then lower yourself slowly over about 3 seconds until your heels touch the floor again. That's 1 repetition. Start with 10 repetitions. As your strength improves, gradually work up to 20 to 25 repetitions with good control. The secret isn't lifting higher, it's controlling the movement. That brief pause at the top forces your calf muscles, ankles, and balance system to work together. It's remarkably similar to what happens when you lose your balance and instinctively try to catch yourself before falling. That's why this movement delivers 2 important benefits at once. It helps improve venous return, reducing swelling and leg heaviness, while also strengthening the muscles your body depends on to stay upright. And unlike high-impact exercises, calf raises place very little stress on your knees or hips when performed with proper support. But even this exercise has own a limitation. It strengthens the muscles that pump blood, yet it doesn't challenge them for very long. The next movement does exactly that. It keeps those muscles working continuously for 20 to 30 seconds, creating one of the most effective circulation exercise older adults can perform safely at home. And that's why movement number 2 is considered by many rehabilitation specialists to be one of the best tests and training tools for healthy aging. Before we reveal the top 2 movements, let me ask you something. How long can you comfortably stand on one leg? 10 seconds, 20 seconds, or does your balance start to disappear almost immediately? Leave your answer in the comments below. I read every single one because your experiences help shape future videos for the Dr. Sebastian Sterling community. And if you found today's video helpful so far, take a moment to like this video and subscribe. Every week, we share evidence-based health strategies designed specifically to help older adults stay stronger, steadier, and more independent. Now let's move on to movement number 2, an exercise that looks like a simple balance drill, but is actually one of the most effective ways to keep your calf muscle pump working continuously and improve circulation after 60. Movement number 2, the single leg stance, the balance test that also boosts circulation. Now, we've reached the movement number 2, and this is where many people make a surprising discovery. At first glance, this looks like nothing more than ambulance exercise, but orthopedic surgeons and rehabilitation specialists know it's doing much more than that. Here's something that caught the attention of aging researchers. Large population studies referenced by the National Institute on Aging have shown that the ability to stand on one leg as one of the strongest predictors of future falls, mobility loss, and loss of independence in older adults. In fact, seniors who perform poorly on simple single-leg balance tests are several times more likely to experience a serious fall over the following years. Those findings matter because once falls begin, circulation often starts to decline as well. People become less active, their calf muscles weaken, blood begins pooling in the lower legs, swelling increases, walking becomes painful, and before long, many older adults enter a cycle that's difficult to reverse. So why is this exercise so effective? Because every second you stand on one leg, your calf, ankle, hip, and core muscles must contract continuously to keep you upright. That sustained muscle contraction creates a prolonged muscle pump effect, helping push blood back toward the heart instead of allowing it to collect in your feet and ankles. Walking simply doesn't create that same demand. With every step, you're on one leg for only a fraction of a second. This exercise keeps the pump working for 20 to 30 seconds at a time. Here's how to perform it safely. Stand beside a kitchen countertop, sturdy chair, or wall, and keep one hand lightly touching it for support. Shift your weight onto one leg and lift the other foot just 1 or 2 inches off the floor. You don't need to lift it any higher. Stand tall, look straight ahead, and try not to grip the floor with your toes. Hold this position for 20 to 30 seconds, breathing normally throughout. Then switch legs. That's one set. Start with 2 sets on each side. As your balance improves, gradually reduce how much weight you place on your supporting hand. Eventually, you may find that you only need to hover your hand above the countertop instead of holding it. That's an excellent sign that your balance system is becoming stronger. What makes this movement so powerful isn't simply balance. It's time under tension. Those sustained muscle contractions keep blood moving, strengthen the small stabilizing muscles around your ankles and hips, and retrain your nervous system to react more quickly if you stumble. That's why studies consistently show that improving single leg balance is associated with greater walking confidence, fewer falls, and better long-term mobility. But there's still one final piece missing. Balance keeps you steady. It doesn't create the strongest possible calf pump. For that, we need the exercise that vascular rehabilitation teams around the world rely on more than almost any other. And that's exactly why movement number 1 earns the top spot on today's list. Movement. Number 1, the standing calf pump hold. The most powerful exercise for leg circulation. After 60, now we've reached movement number 1. And once you understand what this simple movement does inside your legs, you'll understand why vascular surgeons and rehabilitation specialists prescribe it almost like medicine after surgery. This is the movement I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the one that directly targets the muscle doctors often call your second heart. Here's something many people don't realize. Across vascular rehabilitation programs around the world, controlled standing heel raises are among the most frequently prescribed exercises for improving venous return after surgery, prolonged bed rest, or chronic venous insufficiency. Why? Because no other simple movement activates the calf muscle pump as powerfully, as safely, and as consistently. Here's the science. Your calf muscles aren't just responsible for helping you walk. They are powerful pressure pumps. Every time you rise onto your toes, those muscles compress the deep veins in your lower legs, forcing blood upward against gravity toward your heart. But here's the detail that changes everything: the hold. Most people rise onto their toes, then immediately come back down. Surgeons don't teach it that way. Holding the top position for 3 to 5 seconds keeps the calf muscles contracted, maintaining pressure on the veins and giving blood more time to move upward. instead of pooling around the ankles. That's something ordinary walking simply can do. Walking creates brief muscle contractions. The standing calf pump hold creates a sustained contraction, producing a much stronger muscle pumping effect. Here's how to perform it correctly. Stand behind a sturdy chair, countertop, and hold it lightly for balance. Place your feet about hip-width apart. Slowly rise onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels as high as you comfortably can. Now pause. Hold that position for 3 to 5 seconds while breathing normally and looking straight ahead. Then lower your heels slowly over about 3 seconds. That's 1 repetition. Start with 8 to 10 repetitions. As your strength improves, gradually increase to 15 to 20 repetitions without sacrificing control. Remember, quality is far more important than speed. Research from vascular and rehabilitation programs consistently shows that strengthening the calf muscle pump can help improve venous return, reduce leg swelling, increase walking endurance, strengthen the ankles, and improve confidence during everyday activities. And because the movement is low impact, it's suitable for many older adults with arthritis or mild balance problems when performed with appropriate support. Now, let's put everything together. Walking is still one of the best activities you can do for your overall health. Please don't stop walking, but walking alone leaves important gaps. It doesn't fully strengthen the calf muscle pump. It doesn't challenge your balance long enough. And it doesn't deliberately train the muscles responsible for pushing blood back to your heart. These 5 movements fill those gaps. The best part, they require less than 15 minutes a day. No expensive equipment, no gym membership, and they can be performed safely in your own home. Small movements done consistently can make a remarkable difference in how your legs feel and how confidently you move for years to come. Final conclusion. Before we finish, I want you to remember one important message. Poor circulation is not an inevitable part of aging. Yes, blood vessels change after the age of 60. Muscles become weaker, veins become less efficient, and circulation naturally slows. But that doesn't mean there's nothing you can do about it. Today, we've looked at 5 simple movements that target one of the most overlooked systems in the body, the calf muscle pump, often called your body's second heart. Let's quickly review them. Ankle pumps to reactivate blood flow, seated leg lifts to strengthen the thighs and improve walking, speed, supported calf raises to build the muscles that push blood back toward the heart, single leg balance holds toe improves circulation while reducing fall risk. And finally, standing calf pump holds, one of the most effective movements for activating the calf muscles and improving venous return. Notice something. None of these exercises require expensive equipment. None require a gym membership. And together, they take less than 15 minutes a day. But here's the most important lesson. Don't stop walking. Walking is still one of the best exercises for your heart, lungs, and overall health. The goal isn't to replace walking, it's to complete it. These 5 movements train the muscles that ordinary walking often doesn't challenge enough after the age of 60, helping improve circulation, reduce swelling, strengthen your balance, and keep you moving with confidence. So, here's my challenge for you. Choose just one exercise from today's video and practice it every day for the next 7 days. Notice how your legs feel. Do your feet feel warmer? Are your ankles less swollen? Is it easier to stand up or walk around the house? Small improvements repeated consistently often lead to remarkable changes over time. I'd love to hear from you. Which of today's 5 movements surprised you the most? And which one will you start today? Leave your answer in the comments below. Your experience could encourage someone else to take the first step toward healthier circulation. And if you're committed to staying active, independent, and strong after 60, don't forget to subscribe to Dr. Sebastian Sterling and turn on notifications. Every week, we share evidence-based health advice designed specifically for older adults, helping you protect your heart, strengthen your muscles, improve your balance, and enjoy a healthier, more independent life. Thank you so much for watching. Take good care of yourself. Keep moving, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next.